martial arts tree for the assassin is one of the most confusing and difficult trees in Diablo 2 Resurrected to understand, especially since she wasn't very good before the 2.4 PTR patch. So, how do her finishing moves work? What do you need to know and understand about her skills in order to use her more effectively? I'm Potato Freaker, and that's what we're going to talk about in this episode of Skill Mechanics. One of the problems with the martial arts tree is that it simply wasn't very good. And because it wasn't good, no one used them, and since no one used them, no one really made videos or tutorials about her. But 2.4 has changed that. They changed her way her martial arts skills work, and that has made them more useful. They are, however, still complicated. So with that said, this is not a build for someone new to the game. And if you've never played an MA Assassin before, this isn't going to be your first build on Ladder Reset. I'm going to throw in a quick disclaimer. I am no expert on the martial arts assassin. This video was made with a lot of research using about 5 different sites. I'll list them in the description below. Now originally I was going to put all this in my video on how to level with a martial arts assassin, but it ended up being too long. So instead I'm going to split them into multiple different videos. So this one will simply be talking about the finishing move skills for the MA Assassin. I will also have a too long didn't watch version that will be shorter and cover the charge up skills and finishing moves. So first off, there were 2 types of skills. The left lane and the middle lane, and the right lane for finishing moves. So you use the charge skills to build up your charges, and then you normal attack or finishing move to release the charges. As long as you have at least one charge, your attack will always hit. Your finishing moves now only use one charge of each type instead of all of them at once. Previously it would release all your charges at once and you would have to build them all up again. This resulted in a slow playstyle. Now, only one charge from each skill is used at a time, so you don't have to rebuild all your charges again. The mana cost for each skill also doesn't increase with the level. And as long as you have at least one charge, your attack will always hit regardless of attack rating. There are a total of 5 finishing moves. 1 normal attack, the default, including if you have no mana, 3 kicks, and 1 claw attack. It is also important to note that most of these skills use boots, except for Dragon Claw and normal attack. For the purpose of this video, when I refer to a finishing move, this does include the normal attack. Kicks do not have to be used with a charge. You can use a kick on its own if you like. You just won't get the always hit bonus, because kicksins can be very powerful. Now because you're kicking, you're not going to be using your weapon damage. Your damage is going to come from your boots. The assassin is the only class that can kick, and therefore the only class that can see the attack damage on a pair of boots. These ones, for example, do 6 to 12. Now all of the kick skills follow the same basics for calculating damage. Now to calculate the amount of damage we'll be doing, the mods that work with kicks include Crushing Blow, Open Wounds, Slows Target, Elemental Damage, Magic Damage, Chance to cast on attack, chance to cast on striking, plus X% damage, except on your weapon, plus attack rating, except from your weapon, plus X% attack rating, hit blinds target, hit freezes target, prevent monster heal, hit causes monster to flee, knock back, minus enemy defense, ignore target defense, and skills like Venom, Tiger Strike, Burst of Speed, and Auroras. Plus the skill damage, such as Facets, also work, along with life and mana after each kill, and magic and gold find. However, there are several that don't work with kicks. These include Deadly Strike, Critical Strike, enhanced damage from weapons or duels, plus X% damage to undead or demons, plus minimum or maximum damage, plus X damage from weapons, and Claw Mastery. Boots aren't claws after all. Damage mods from your secondary weapons don't work either. These include things such as increased attack speed, Crushing Blow, Open Wounds, Prevent Monster Heal, Life and Mana Leech, Freeze, Blind, and so on. Do note that shields function the same as your main weapon. So, weapons like Grief, which are often used on melee characters, are of no use. The plus X damage isn't applied. However, Fortitude, which also has plus X damage, does apply, because it's coming from armor and not a weapon. Something interesting to note is that the weapon range of your main weapon is also used. So using a dagger versus using a polearm results in a different melee range of attack. So that all applies to your finishing moves. Now let's look at each skill on its own. First is Dragon Talon. This attack is a kick. Depending on what level the skill is depends on the number of kicks. You start with one kick, and every 6 levels you gain another kick. So at level 6 you do 2 kicks, level 12 you do 3 kicks, and so on. Up to 9 kicks at level 48. The more kicks you use, the more charges you release. So 1 kick uses 1 charge from each skill, 2 kicks release 2 charges of each skill. So if you're not wanting to use up all your charges at once, you want to keep this at a low level. This skill has no AoE, but is great for single targets. If you're able to do 8 kicks, and you kill the monster in 3 kicks, you have 5 more kicks to do, which results in the air being kicked. So doing more kicks can be dangerous. This is one reason why it's a boss killer skill. Dragon Talon, where the kicks in, is very powerful. She can reach insane IES, increased attack speed. Mix that with Crushing Blow, and she can take on the Ubers. Just make sure to have something like Life Tap, however. Next up, we have Dragon Claw. This is the only finishing move, besides normal attacks, that does not use a kick. This skill requires 2 claw weapons to use. Similar to Double Swing for the Barbarian, this will attack 2 different creatures if they were within range, or a single target twice. Next up is Dragon Tail. This kick deals an explosion damage and knocks back targets. The fire damage from this is based on the physical damage that you're doing. So using Fist of Fire isn't recommended, since that kick converts physical damage to fire damage. Therefore less damage is done through Dragon Tail. Dragon Strike, however, is a great skill to use in combination with Dragon Tail. The other problem is that if you use this against a creature that is physical immune, it will not be dealt damage from the explosion. And finally we have Dragon Flight. This is a teleporting skill. While it's not as good as the Sorceress skill, at least it doesn't require Enigma or charges. The nice thing about it though is you don't have to click directly on an enemy. Your character will travel to the nearest enemy to the mouse, assuming one is within a radius of 5.33 yards. Just like teleport, it does help relocate your minions and mark. This is one of the few skills that does not depend on cast rate, movement speed, or attack speed. It is a set animation frame of 23 frames. You teleport at the 10th frame, and you start your attack at the 15th frame. The casting delay has also been removed from this skill, so you can now teleport around much faster. And now for some gameplay. Well, that's all the finishing moves. Only 4 actual skills, but a lot of information in here. I had to read a lot of the information about 3 times each to try and make sure I understood it all and got all the information. So don't feel bad if you had to watch the video a couple of times to absorb all the information. But hopefully that helps you understand in the most complicated tree in the game. Do make sure to check out my other video on the MA tree, where I'll be talking about charge-up skills. Have you tried the martial arts assassin before? Are you going to try the new changes made to her? Comment down below and let me know. If you'd like to see more content like this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.